Check 1 2.
1 2 1 2. That's not too loud.
Wow.
You're now tuned into iRadio with Lord Zaire Lil Willie, where everything's elevated.
What's going on, people? Today we gonna talk about a topic that's been on my mind lately because I hear a lot of people, throwing this around and stuff like that, and I wonder what they mean by it, and what I want to talk about is I guess the term of being woke.
Okay.
What does that mean to you, and what is being conscious, being socially conscious, or does it mean being spiritual, or like, Willie, let me ask you. So, what do you think that means to be woke?
Man, to be woke, I'll probably just have to say, like, man, just having your eyes open, understanding what's going on, understand how it's going on, and shit, just not believing the hype. You know what I'm saying?
True indeed.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say, like, the best way for me to define being woke is to just be to be spiritual, but not religious. I guess in addition to that,
So like a higher, it's something more type thing.
Yeah, like, but it's like it also could be. I've heard people use it in different ways, but I think when people talk, like when I the people that I've heard that the spiritual people that I've looked up to, on YouTube, or that I've heard speak, they talk about being awake. You know what I'm saying? Because if you walking through this world, deaf, dumb, and blind, you know what I mean, you're not awake. You know what I mean? You're just following. You're running after. You're like that horse running after the carrot. You know what I mean? In that rat race.
See,
So,
I done heard people talk about like as far as like us being black. You know what I'm saying? How we gotta be woke. How
true.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess, why would you say the word is being so? Why has the use of the word been used so widely? Why has it been spread so widely, do you think? Because you got it from like black awareness to spirituality.
I guess, I guess people, different people use it in different ways. I think it definitely came from the black community. You know what I'm saying? The Afrocentric community. Yeah, okay. that term woke. But I mean, I've heard Stuart Wilde talk about being awake, being, and that just means, just being conscious of reality. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of the things that are part of our reality, mass media, you know what I'm saying? Big studio pictures. I think all of these things are trying to take us and put us in a fantasy world so that we can just move around like robots,
Let me ask you a question. Do you think this whole being woke thing, do you think this like relatively new, or do you think it's always been around for people wanting to be woke? It was as trendy to be woke.
Yeah, it's trendy now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear a lot of people say it, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think a lot of people overuse it and kind of water it down.
I think it's overused, right? That's why I said that, because I don't really like that term woke because it's trendy. And the whole thing about, to me, is being awake is being outside of like what's trendy, being conscious. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, now I see a lot of people, you fro throwing a little dashiki, watching Martin Luther King or Malcolm X thing, and now you woke. You feel me?
You woke, yeah.
And now, so that's how my whole confusion from it, And I don't really I was born in the 90s, but I was still a kid, and I don't know the 80s. So my question to you would be, was there another time where people was just really just wanted to be woke? Like, was it Black Panthers or something?
Yeah, definitely.
You think it started with them? Or, because obviously, if you want to be woke, that means you were asleep at one point.
Yes,
so
sure.
So motherfuckers in Africa ain't trying to be woke. You feel me? Because they never sleep. So
right.
Obviously.
But I mean, not really though, because it's like, You know what I'm saying? Like the nation of gods and earth say, 85% of the population is deaf, dumb, and blind. You know what I'm saying? Meaning Christians, you know what I'm saying?
So this don't matter where you at.
Muslims, being, anybody that's subservient to a God outside of self. It even says in all these like different religious doctrines that we're gods. So I think that, there's a lot of cultures that still, pray to a God outside of themselves. So to me, a big part of that is kind of knowing the divinity that lies within all of us and knowing that, that we are self-lord and master.
That shit crazy. So when do you think, because I ain't gonna lie, first time I've heard about it is watching them little Black Panther documentaries, about the revolution and shit.
Yeah.
So, but when I was growing up, but even that happened before me. But while I was growing up, people really didn't talk about being woke like that.
Right.
You feel me? Early 2000s, late 90s, people wasn't really concerned about being woke.
Being woke, right.
So what do you think caused it to come back into fruition? I don't know if that's the right word.
And that's the funny thing, bro, is like, I think, you got people that have been socially conscious for a long time, but they never use that expression being woke. I think that term being woke came...
Do you think that's a pop slang word right there?
Kind of.
Damn, okay.
I kind of feel like it's like it's just slang. It's like something to make like, cause I don't like being like part of the status quo. I like being outside the status quo. I don't like being inclusive. I like to be different.
Do you
personally.
think the term woke takes away what is really going on or what is really supposed to be going on? Because a real woke person...
That's a good question.
Because we had a conversation about the old dude named Dennis at the Home Depot. And even you said he wasn't telling me I didn't know shit. He was just saying that we never know shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, so that's the thing. Is right.
A real woke person will understand that I can still wake up more. You feel me?
And that's the thing. It's like being woke is being humble. Being humble to the fact that,
but if you walking around saying
7.6 billion people in the world, you know what I'm saying? And we're the third planet from the sun, and we think, we think that this is the only place that there's any type of consciousness. We think that, Americans are the only people that matter, that know anything about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so check this out. So if somebody walked up to you and was like, yo, I'm woke, what would be your first idea about them? That they're woke or that they're not?
That they were asleep.
You gotta be, because if you...
Because it's like I was trying to say, like, it's like being woke is being humble and knowing how minuscule you are in this universe. It's like homie was saying, how can you ever be awake? Like we're trying to be awake. So when we say we're woke, then we're basically saying that like
I know everything.
Like I know everything. It's like I was asleep. Now I'm woke and I'm good.
I have farther to go. I'm woke. I know it all.
Right. It seems kind of, it
seems pretty trendy right now.
It seems trendy.
Because a real, like you said, bro, real person that's woke is not going to say I'm woke.
Right.
Because he understands that I have more awakening to go.
Right. And
I'm gonna keep it hot with you. I be hearing this from 20-year-olds, and nigga, I'm 27 and I don't know shit. So how can you even be woke at?
Do you hear people say like
I do
a lot?
I do. I won't say a lot, but I do. Well, no, not like that, but it's like, we'll be having a conversation, motherfucker. See, these people woke, or you got to be woke. You can't be, it just pops up. It won't be a whole conversation about that topic like what we're doing now. Yeah. But it'll come up, and people will be under the influence that they are woke.
I think that anybody I've known, because I've kind of like frequented, different metaphysical type of groups. Yeah. From black people to white people to Indian people, all different types of metaphysical people, real shit, all-inclusive metaphysical groups. And I've never heard anybody say that. Never have I ever heard anybody say, and I feel like it's like, I don't know, I never heard nobody say that. Nobody that was actually Woke, have I
Now
heard
check
say
this
that?
out. Check this out. We're gonna use another word. Have you ever heard somebody say I'm on the path to enlightenment?
Yes.
Have you ever heard somebody say I'm enlightened?
That's violation.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't that the same as woke though?
Yeah.
I think
it is. It is.
Because you could be on the path to awaken.
Enlightenment.
You could be on the path to enlighten, but to say
Right.
that you're enlightened,
Right.
I feel like that will put
That means that you've arrived.
You arrived. You're putting yourself on a pedestal.
Right.
You know. So okay. So
I think enlightened. I forget. Like I know. What's his name talks about that. Man, I forgot his name.
what does he talk about though?
He talks about like Buddha, like talks about being enlightened, but being enlightened is kind of like when you leave the physical. Being enlightened is to be filled with light and then to not be here anymore. Being enlightened is when you ascend. Like that's like you don't need to be here.
So
anymore.
you can't even. I
don't think being enlightened can actually be attained
in the earthly form.
Yeah, in the earthly form.
So I mean, I have to say the same thing about woke, man. Like you absolutely right. I've never heard nobody that was really on the path of enlightenment who understood what was going on say, I'm woke. I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
Me and him was watching something about it was about white privilege yesterday, bruh. And Tiffany Haddish said some shit about how most black people can't even trace their roots back to Africa. So how much enlightenment can you get if you don't know your roots? I'm not saying it can stop, but I'm just saying you have to go a little bit farther. You have to go a little bit farther.
Yeah.
You got to go a little bit farther just to understand your enlightenment. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We in America, so we don't know what's going on. We gotta reach back to there. We gotta do a whole bunch of shit. You feel what I'm saying? I don't understand. I just don't understand what people mean by that, what they get out of that. You feel me?
Right.
What do you think people mean when they say I'm enlightened?
Enlightened.
Or woke? What do you think people really mean by that? Because we know what they think they mean and that's not, but what do you think they mean by that?
I think it's like saying it's like making it like exclusive.
Like
it's
a
making
club.
it's making it like a club, yeah. Like either you sleep or you woke. But it's like
it's not that simple.
It's not that simple, bro. It's not that simple. And my thing is I've never tried to define. I feel like that's ego, right? So we're trying to get free from ego. That's what this path is. So if I'm trying to give having no attachments.
Right.
That's being totally having no attachments is the goal. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm attaching myself to anything, even if it's like especially some type of exclusive group,
I think exactly what you're saying.
I can't do it.
I think it's exactly what you're saying, bruh. You trying to put yourself in a group when enlightenment is not a group.
Right.
And if anything, it sounds like people box it in like I'm woke. I'm in this box.
Yeah, I'm in this. I hate boxes.
It can't be no box. Being woke can't be in no box.
I had people ask me, "Oh, you're from Boston. You must be a Patriots fan." I like the Patriots. I will never say that I'm a fan because being a fan means I'm a fanatic, and that puts me in a box.
In that box. And if you're not really no fan, my man's a Raiders fan. You can imagine how many we be smoking blunts, and he tells me about it, bruh. Just how like fake Raiders fans, all that type of shit. Antonio Brown? Was that by the name?
Yeah,
shit. So he
yeah.
really die hard. Go to conventions, all that. So you right. When you put yourself in that box, you gotta do everything that's in that box.
Yeah.
So for me, you almost by saying I'm woke, you putting a responsibility on yourself that is kind of impossible to live up to, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you woke, then if you put yourself in that box, then you got to do everything that's in that box.
That's a good point.
You got to do everything that's in that box.
Right.
I don't want to see you smoking weed, nothing, because you should be able to get your own high type shit. You feel me?
Right.
I'm gonna come at you a different way, and
because then it's just ego. Then it's just you saying that. Just it's like I wanna blaze my own path. I don't, personally, I want to blaze my own path. I don't want to jump on nobody's bandwagon to identify myself. I don't need an identity, man. I'm a spirit. I'm a soul.
Yeah.
Why do I need an identity if I'm trying to be in tune with my soul?
Facts.
Period.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Why
That's
do I
the
need
goal.
to be part of a group?
Right.
That's some crazy shit. So,
That's the goal of on that path of enlightenment, is to be more in touch with my soul, my true self, get
Right.
away from ego. You know what I mean? So putting myself in any type of box, that's just ego. You know what I mean?
So to go back to my question, what do you think these people mean when they say woke? What do you think they think they have accomplished?
I think it's like, you know, maybe people that say that, maybe they used to be people that, because I mean, I don't even think it's a religious thing when they say it. I think it means like they're socially conscious, meaning they must have been asleep at some point.
Right.
And they were awakened to some type of reality, you
Right.
know what I mean? And they feel like they've crossed the threshold. So there's like the sleep and woke, and they cross this threshold. So they
Some
feel,
imaginary threshold.
Yeah. They feel like you don't know because you ain't woke.
So
you
let
know what
me-
I'm saying? It's like a status. It's like a status symbol.
That's
Like
that
I'm
symbol.
woke.
I'm part of this. So let me ask you a question. So how many years have you been on your path to enlightenment?
Well, I mean, I would say like in 2010, I stopped eating meat, and that was like I wanted to calcify my pineal gland more, and I wanted to be more tapped in, you know. So that's why I stopped. I wanted to be more in tune. I wanted my third eye to be open more, and I just saw some Dr. Sebi videos where he was talking about, like, you know, alkalinizing, whatever, making the body more alkaline.
Right.
So
you say like 9
I stopped
years?
eating meat. Yeah, like 9 years.
And you say you studied underneath people too, like in all different
Yeah,
type of things.
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
little bit, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure some of them groups had, I don't know, like masters or, you know, just people who were higher.
Enlighteners, yeah.
Enlighteners. Okay,
Yeah.
people that were higher up,
For sure.
and they've done it for more years than you. Would that be fair to say?
For sure, yeah.
So you doing it going on 10 years, and people have done it for 15, 20 years, still on their path to enlightenment.
Yeah.
So what do you think gives a person who 1, 2 years, 3 years in, what do you think gives them the right to say, I'm enlightened or I'm woke?
Right.
Because that's what I get it. Like, I'm 27, so, you know, I just got out of school 10 years ago. So, you know, ain't nobody
that was
enlightened in
real.
high school. So
Yeah.
if you my age, how are you really even
Yeah, how you saying that?
How can you even say that? You know what I'm saying?
It goes like this, right? Because why do Christians want to be Christian? Why do Muslims want to be Muslim? It's the same thing. Why do, you know, I mean, there's other religions that aren't really like religious that are more spiritual, but like, let's just take the three main ones in Western society. Christianity,
Right.
well, Eastern society too, because Muslims, but like what we see most of is Christianity, Islam, and Judaism.
Yeah.
So those things, I feel like, and I was a part of Islam before I became I was introduced to the nation of gods and earths. I was a Muslim. I consider myself a Muslim because I felt like I felt like I couldn't meet God head on. I needed an intermediate, right? And also I wanted to have the answers. You know, I wanted to have shit figured out. Being a Christian, Christians will argue with you all day about the Bible, and it's like it's like the man that transcribed the Bible did it 1,200 years after all of this stuff supposedly had happened. How could it be factual?
Well, that's even besides the point.
But
like,
that's besides the point.
What I'm looking at.
My point. Okay, so my point, to get to my point, is like, and I don't want to diss anybody that wants to believe in Christianity. Like, I get it. Like, you know, it makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? This is how you meet God. Whatever. Like, that it makes sense to you. But why do we need to have everything figured out? It's the same thing with that status of being woke. It's like, I got it all figured out. You know what I'm saying?
And before you dive in even farther, even being a Christian, Judaism, and being a Muslim, you still have certain requirements. You know what I'm saying? You still got certain tests.
That's real. That's true. That's true.
You know, whether it's true or not, you got these tests. I don't understand the people that say that they woke, these smart asses, but you haven't been through no test. You know what I'm saying? The people who your enlighteners, they haven't certified you. You know what I'm saying? An elder didn't tell you that you was woke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just saying that you woke. Right. And now I feel like it's becoming so popular that it's so watered down. You know what I'm saying? It's so.
But I think studying, you know, if you're studying science, you're studying fact. You know what I'm saying? You're studying matter. Like, you're studying things that are real in this universe. I think it's different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you're studying something that, you know, somebody told you is real and hasn't been proven.
But ain't that the difference between science? Because a real scientist would tell you that science is always changing. Yeah. So we're not going to say where we know.
But this is as far, at the same time, this is as far as we've gotten. But, so I'm studying my science.
But that's the wise answer, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that's so much of a smart answer to say, I know what I know, but it's always changing.
It's always changing.
You feel me? So I feel like that's an enlightened person.
Right.
Or a quote-unquote woke person if there was one.
Right.
But like you said, somebody that's in religion, they gonna act like they know all the answers.
Right. And my thing is, I got a lot of religious people in my family, and I feel like it's so hard to talk to them because you can't say, like, you can't argue with them because they're so sure about it. And it's like, what did we just say? We don't have any answers. That's the difference. So the difference is you got these people that feel like they have the answer, and then you got people that like are always changing. Like, science is always changing. Yeah. That's a beautiful articulation because it's true. Science is always changing. We're always evolving.
So
in life is always it's always in constant change. It's the only thing that stays the same about life is that it's always going to be changing every millisecond to millisecond. You know what I'm saying?
That's a wise person that believes that. And if that's what you taught, I just feel like you will act differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because peep game, like, even if you brought up in the church, you are told that it's this way. But you aren't sent out to do your own learnings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To do your own things. What's those little people called? Amish? The Amish people, right? When they turn like 16, 17, they go out on their own to get sent out. I
heard something like that before, yeah.
You feel me? And then you get to see for yourself. And if you come back, you come back.
Right.
But if you don't, then that's you.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that's real.
But you don't see that with religion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you said, they got this is how you gonna do if you live underneath my roof. You gonna do this, you gonna do this, you gonna do this. Not knocking it, not saying it's wrong or right, but at the end of the day, what can you say to a person that really think they know something?
It's the difference. The difference is it's made to keep people subservient. It's made to keep people stuck and not changing. And our natural evolution is to evolve, and evolving is constant, is change. To evolve is to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? So religion is made to prevent you from growing.
Real shit.
Don't ask that question. It's blasphemous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That shit crazy.
Yeah, man. So, man, we talked about a lot of stuff today, man. You know, we got into, we started talking about being woke and that being a symbol, and then we went into religion and how there's different religions and how, being woke is just kind of turning into like a different group or a different type of religion, in the same sense. And, we got a lot of we talked about a lot of things and we built on a lot of things, and I feel like it's been a very, very, very good podcast. So
definitely been a good one.
With that being said, just want to tell you, you know, to feel free to put any questions or any comments underneath.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
We signing off, baby. Lord Zaire.
Peace.